My guests today come from Hampton, Virginia and Charlotte, North Carolina. Their debut album is called Forever My Lady. They call themselves Jodeci.
Okay, now check this out. Now, you're been described as being undeniably gospel with a soulful, emotional edge.
They are two sets of brothers who turned their double duets into a double platinum debut album. Please welcome Jodeci.
There were over 1,000 albums released in 1991, the year of the end of the Persian Gulf War.
The Kuwaiti flag once again flies above the capital of a free and sovereign nation.
The fall of the Soviet Union.
Mikhail Gorbachev's dreams of holding the Soviet Union together may have received a death blow today.
And the Rodney King beating. Of those figures, one marked the transformation of two gospel groups into R&B royalty. That album, of course, was Forever My Lady, and the royalty, of course, is Jodeci. As stated earlier, Jodeci is comprised of two sets of brothers from two separate gospel groups. Cedric and Joel Hailey were members of Little Cedric and the Hailey Singers and released 3 albums. Dalvin and Devontae Degrate performed as members of the Degrate delegation. When they did meet, the chemistry was so instant that they soon all moved in together. Devontae Swing, so passionate about pursuing music, traveled from North Carolina to Minneapolis to audition for Prince. He was rejected, but this experience later led to Devontae, Dalvin, Cedric, and Joel traveling to New York City for a chance to sign to Andre Harrell's MCA subsidiary, Uptown Records.
And we got the courage, man. We said a good prayer. We said a good prayer before we got on Highway 85 going up north. We said a good prayer, Tank, man. We never looked back after that prayer, man. And when we got to Virginia, we stopped at a truck stop. We said, hold up. Man, we can't go there, man. We need an image, man. We need an image. Well, I shades up to New York. And when we got to New York, and we rode around New York, man, for like 12 hours. Trying to find somewhere to sleep. And by this time, you know, we're low on funds now. And we found our Best Western in Queens. So we took that whole $100 and something for that room for that one night. We got on the Yellow Pages. We got the Yellow Pages from the phone book, man. And we was like, y'all, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna find MCA Records, man. It's in Manhattan, 1775 Broadway. Never forget that. So we rode around New York, found MCA Records, and we got to the lobby. And the receptionist was like, who y'all here to see? We just want somebody to hear our music, that's all. Yeah. We waited in the lobby, y'all, for like 6 hours. You know, they were great clothes. They said, y'all still here? Yeah, we're still here. And then Kurt Willie came and said, I think y'all come to my office. And he fell asleep on our demo. My boss, Andre Harrell, he's not, rest in peace, Jay. He's not gonna like this. He's not gonna like this. So we like, how you know? Get the man, get the boss man.
They traveled with a 3-tape, 29-song demo and was turned away, with urban legends saying the demo lacked bump. That is, until Andre Harrell himself bumped the demo, which got them signed to Uptown Records in 1990.
So Dre came in, and by the time when Dre came in, so Dre like, hold up. Y'all tell me that's y'all? Yeah, that's us.
Yeah.
What you telling me? Yeah, that's us. I don't believe it. No doubt. Okay, believe this. You know, I stood up.
Yeah.
I started singing the verses. He said, Kurt, pay for the rest of the room, the hotel room for the rest of the group, for the rest of the week. Come on, y'all, we're going out to dinner. And Kurt, by the way, you assigned to them for the rest of this week.
They moved into the projects of New York and soon began recording material.
We had no choice but to build a better bond. They stuck us in the projects in the hood, in the Bronx, Rose Avenue, you know. But the main meat of the album was done. There were songs that were written in North Carolina, and ideas. They wasn't perfected like they were, but they were basically done.
Sean Combs, a young intern and Howard dropout, was tasked with developing the group and redefining their image, which was to stand in stark contrast to fellow balladeers, Boyz II Men, as opposed to suits and ties. Jodeci, a name which was a combination of all the members' names, was to wear combat boots, baseball caps, and streetwear. Jodeci made their debut on Father MC's Treat Them Like They Want to Be Treated. Around this time, Devontae Swing and fellow Uptown artist Al B. Shore began producing tracks for their upcoming album, opting for a sound more infused with hip-hop and heavy synths. In February, Uptown released Jodeci's debut single entitled Gotta Love, which was produced entirely by Devontae Degrate. The single peaked at number 29 on the R&B charts, signaling that it perhaps wasn't the best lead single. 6 months later, their album, entitled Forever My Lady, was released.
So tell me about your album. I mean, are you guys, you are a singing group. It's not a rap album.
Yeah, that's not.
Which you sing. So tell me about the album.
Well, it was produced by myself, Devontae Swing, and I'll Be Sure, and scheduled to drop like next week. We have our first single out called Gotta Love. And it's like one side is, like the first side is full of ballads. So I think, people like our ballads. And on the second side is like up-tempo. So, it's happening album, I guess. That's what they tell me.
And that's what they tell you. This is so funny because when you said I'll Be Sure, it just dawned on me that you are the guys that he told us about on Video Soul almost a year ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, how y'all doing, man? I've been waiting for y'all to come.
Entertainment Weekly called the album a forceful and assured debut propelled by a brash energy. And the Los Angeles Times raved about the production.
But I'm told that y'all can sing, man. If I ask you to sing something right now, man, it would be like, you want it? Street quartet?
A month later came the single that very well redeemed them from the failure of their first.
The one for me, holding me close, yes. She's all I need.
Forever My Lady, a song written by Al B. Shore about him Porter's pregnancy with his child, was released on August 13th, 1991. It debuted just 4 days later on the R&B charts. In a little over 2 months, the single debuted on the Hot 100 at number 71. Around the release of Forever My Lady, Cedric, or KC, began a relationship with fellow Uptown Records artist Mary J. Blige. Both their debuts came out in 1992, and they also collaborated on the track I Don't Want to Do Anything Else. Before Forever My Lady was released, Devontae Swing formed a group of musicians called the Swing Mob, comprised of rappers, singers, instrumentalists, and producers. Some notable members of this collective, such as Tweet, Missy Elliott, Static Major, and Timbaland, and Magoo, would later go on to find success. By November, the single topped the R&B charts, staying there for 2 weeks. The following month, the single peaked at number 25 on the pop charts.
This is your debut album. You haven't been around that long.
Right.
You really have a high recognition level.
Yeah,
Is it crazy out there?
it's kind of weird.
Really?
But,
It's surprising us sometimes, like today, when we flew in the airport, like some businessmen were walking by, and me and Casey were on the phone, and Devontae, and the guy, he was in like a three-piece suit, and he said, "You sing?" And Casey said, "Yeah." I mean, we were looking at him like, yeah. So, and Casey said, "You sing with Jodeci?" And we were like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Because it's mostly like girls that come up and say, "Oh, you sing with Jodeci?" So.
But it's kind of nice, isn't it? Flattering.
Riding the wave of Forever My Lady, Uptown released the third single from the set, Stay, another track produced by Devontae and Al B. Short on December 3rd of 1991. Just 4 days later, much like Forever My Lady, Stay debuted on the R&B charts. A month later, it made its debut on the Hot 100. By the new year, their set was already certified platinum for 1 million in record sales. By February of 1992, the single Stay peaked at number 1 on the R&B charts and peaked at number 41 on the pop charts. And like clockwork, the following month, on March 10th, the fourth single, entitled Come and Talk to Me, was released. It would mark their third consecutive number 1 R&B single, as well as a third top 40 pop showing. 3 months later, by August of 1992, the album had been out a year. Uptown released the final single from the set, entitled I'm Still Waiting, which, by October, had already crossed over to the pop charts. Jodeci received 3 nominations at the Billboard Music Awards.
1992 number 1 R&B artist is Jodeci.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? First of all, I want to say thanks to God for making Jodeci get together, making all this happen. Second of all, I want to say what's up to our parents. I want to say what's up to our manager, Steve Lucas, Andre Harrell, Puff Daddy, A.D. Washington, Ernie Singleton, whole NJ Records, and everybody. And I want to say, the most important of all, our fans who made Jodeci what they are today. And to our whole crew, Swing Mob, we love you.
I want to say hi to my mother. I love you and thanks for all your support and the encouragement you gave us. And I like to say on behalf of you, I love each and one of every y'all, and God bless everybody. I'm out. Peace. First of all, I'd like to thank God. And while Jodeci is resting, we want to say go out and buy my man Eazy-E's album. And we'd like to say peace out to one of our best friends, Mike Tyson. Peace, y'all.
As well as the Soul Train Music Awards. 6 months later, Uptown Records released the single Let's Go Through the Motions, which was included on the soundtrack for the film Who's the Man? By May, Let's Go Through the Motions peaked at number 65 on the pop charts. That same year, the entire Uptown Records roster appeared on the MTV live performance series Unplugged. Jodeci would perform their hits and also give their rendition of Stevie Wonder's Lately. It was released as a single in late spring of 1993, a spring that was perhaps marred by both allegations of misconduct and threats of violence against a young woman in Jersey, as well as Devontae Swing being robbed for $160,000 worth of clothes and jewelry. By July, the single was already gold, and Jodeci began recording material for their sophomore effort.
My heart belongs to you. What's up, BT? That's it. Watch me do that. Make sure you don't go flat in the part. Whenever you want it in the evening. We've been getting all kind of media press and everything. I just like to say, don't believe everything you read. Right. Well, what is it about me in case you don't believe everything you read and everything you see on the news. You heard I got robbed. That's true.
The following month, Lately was a number 4 hit on the pop charts, Jodeci's highest position yet. By the release of Jodeci's sophomore effort, Devontae Swing Mob was still in full effect, releasing EPs from 1993 to 1995. The girl group Sister, which also included Missy Elliott, almost released an album entitled For the Sisters Around the World, but its lead single failed to garner significant traction.
Well, this album is not different to me. It's like a continuation of the first album, you know. It's like we just, because a lot of the songs that we are doing
supposed to have. It's like we was gonna put them on the first album, but we didn't, so we saved them to the second album, and we kind of got the same feel, and nothing has changed. With Jodeci, we still remain the same, and we will always remain the same, no matter what. And I still have one more track to do. They are telling me so.
3 months later, the hype single for the second album was released, entitled Cry For You. It debuted on the pop and R&B charts in November of 1993. On December 21st, the album Diary of a Mad Band was released to retailers. Critics were mixed on the set, with the LA Times and Entertainment Weekly considering the project an improvement over their first, with Dimitri L. Rich of EW writing, "The best moments when the group singing slips out of baggy jeans and into church choir robes, hip-hop souls saved by gospel," and Dennis Hunt of the LA Times writing, "On its second album, Jodeci energizes the tired R&B formula with soulful harmonizing and some of the nastiest slow grooves you'll ever hear. A big improvement over their excessively dramatic, cliche-ridden first set," while Robert Christgau and Rohan Preston had more critical reviews of the set.
Recently, the group took time out to shoot the cover of YSB magazine, and they spoke to Screen Scene about their well-anticipated new album and what critics call their image as R&B bad boys.
What is a bad boy? Excuse me. What? I don't know.
I think the bad boy reputation comes from the way we dress, you know, how we may carry ourselves.
I'm not a bad boy. My fella's not bad boy. You know, we just Jodeci.
Whereas their first album was produced with the help of Al B. Sure, Diary of a Mad Band was mainly produced by Devontae and Dalvin Degrate.
I just want everybody to know, you know, I started Jodeci. It was me and my idea. You know, I don't say nothing because I'm waiting on the rest of the guys to tell the truth. When they tell the truth, I'm going to state my claim and get what's mine.
In February of 1994, Cry For You was a top 20 hit on both the pop and R&B charts. The following month, Uptown released the second single from the set, entitled Fiendin'. By this point, Diary of a Mad Band was certified platinum for 1 million in sales. Fiendin' would go on to peak at number 2 on the R&B charts and number 25 on the pop charts. In 1994, KC recorded a rendition of Bobby Womack's If You Think You're Lonely Now, which was included on the soundtrack for the film Jason's Lyric.
Please welcome from Jodeci, KC.
What's up?
With the biker look. What's up, man?
How you doing?
All right, how you doing, man?
Cool.
You ride down on the bike from New York?
Nah, man, the weather was too bad.
It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, man.
Well, you went all the way, didn't you? You decided to mess with somebody. You went to Bobby Womack. That's
Man,
pretty serious.
Listen, whoever don't like it, it wasn't my idea. They put that song on me. I said, okay, I'm gonna try it. If it's not right, don't blame me. But it worked out okay, so I'm kind of satisfied.
Well, it's working out well, man.
Yeah.
I mean, but people love yours and they love Bobby's. They're both bands.
Well, what can I say, man? Just a powerful song.
Yeah.
You know, maybe if you try, it might do the same thing.
Yeah, right. It go down the chart so fast like a lid
Nah,
on it, man.
Come on, Daddy.
No. But see, you can sing, so you can really mess with something like that. I wouldn't even try.
You gotta have a little talent.
Yeah.
Hey, Devontae, you're just stretching out a little bit, son. You're doing everything.
Just getting a little help from JoJo, you know, he's being quiet, you know, he's a secret man behind this whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
He over there.
He's a 007.
Yeah.
But, I mean, how do you guys come together? Like, when y'all come up with an idea, y'all sit down and be like, yo, I'm thinking this, and then y'all just iron it out?
Yeah, well, you know, Dalvin and Casey got their own thing going. They broke away from me and JoJo. So, you know, You know, they sit down, they bring their ideas.
Oh yeah, they got their little clique going on. They go in their little room, play a little Space Invader or something, come back and it's on. What's next, man, off this album? I mean, I got like 4 or 5 cuts that I just want y'all to do at my cookout, but I'm not gonna go there. I'm talking about what's the next one that y'all like, y'all favorite one that y'all like now?
Next single, well, personally, I like Ride and Slide. Yeah. But, you know, I think the next single, What About Us? Yeah, What About Us?
In August, the final single from the set, What About Us, was released. It failed to cross over to the pop charts, but was a top 20 hit on the R&B charts.
Do y'all listen to like all types of music?
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
What's some of your favorite, like each one of y'all? What's your favorite like artist or music?
When I listen to, you know, we all listen to different kinds of stuff. We really don't listen to R&B that much.
I just got finished writing some stuff for Aerosmith.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Get out of here.
He did 3 cuts for Aerosmith.
Aerosmith?
Yeah.
Steven Tyler?
Yeah.
See, branching out. What about you, man? Look at my man, the Silent Storm over there.
I like a lot of gospel music, like Commission, you know, stuff like that.
That's where y'all roots are, though, in gospel.
Yeah.
Y'all think y'all maybe like one of your next albums you might hit some, go back old school, hit some gospel on them?
Not on the Jodeci R&B album. Maybe it'll be a gospel album by itself.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I don't like, you don't want to mix the both together.
Okay.
You know.
Just
His voice brought up different from that, you know, we was always taught.
Can't sing.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? Because your grandmother be like,
Can't talking about fiending about a female on one side, and on the other side you talking about, oh Lord.
Lord, I need you. I'm fiending. No, I don't get. Yo, let's just keep it real. I mean, how do y'all keep grounded? How do y'all keep it ground? Like, you know, not start tripping and doing like crazy stuff.
Well, if you read the media, you'll start tripping because they make you be like, you know, a monster if you read.
Crazy.
And they make you be like, you know, how you saying this about me? You know, Jodeci's souped up and they don't care about nothing but they self and they just the wildest people in the world. And then you be like, what am I? You wondering, are you really like that? But, you know, you just stay real, man. Keep it real. Just do the things you used to doing.
Right,
But you really can't do that no more because everybody want to trip on you wherever you go. So you just got to just chill.
Y'all can come to my house and play some ball. You know, I ain't gonna trip on you.
You always say that, man. You don't call. I think you're scared,
I play you, man. You know, I foul a lot.
2 months later, Jodeci returned to the studio to work on a third set. By May, they were finished, and a month later, the lead single from the set, Freakin' You, was released.
Way back in the day, me and JoJo started this song first, and then, you know, Dalvin, Casey came, and Mr. Dalvin came, but we all 2 sets of brothers, you know, JoJo and Casey brothers, and me and Dalvin. You know, we blood. It's like that. You know what I'm saying? That's basically it. And we've been doing this for a while, you know, just kicking it together and doing songs. Well, yeah, I play a lot of instruments, keyboards, guitars, whatever. Dalvin does instruments. He's a drummer, and Casey and JoJo are the vocalists. And, you know, we all just get together and do what we have to do and make it Jodeci. You know what I'm saying? A lot of groups just sing and they go and wait for a producer to come in the studio, but we just, you know what I'm saying, you can stick us in the studio with nothing and we come out with, you know what I'm saying, a hit album.
Freakin' You debuted on the pop and R&B charts that same month, and by July, it was a top 20 pop hit and number 3 hit on the R&B charts. By 1995, Mary J. Blige and KC's often explosive and drug-fueled relationship was to escalate to marriage. That is, until KC shot down rumors of their engagement during an interview.
I've heard that you're going to marry Mary J. Blige, aren't you?
No! That's a rumor, you know what I'm saying? That's a rumor for the States too, you know. KC is not getting married.
What is the Jodeci sound? You say the Jodeci sound. What is the Jodeci sound?
We call it sexual hip-hop, you know what I'm saying, sexual funk. You know what I'm saying, it's not R&B no more, you know what I'm saying. We just do what we do. We go in there, we make the beats, and then, you know, we try to get the fellas down with the beats or whatever, and the girls down with the lyrics and vocals, and, you know, we try to, we're not here trying to make no soft love songs or whatever else. I mean, we love soft love songs or whatever, we can do that, but we just do what we feel, you know what I'm saying. We don't say, let's do this for the late, let's do this, make this soft song, whatever. We just gonna try to do our thing.
On July 18th, their third album, The Show, The Afterparty, and The Hotel was released. On Halloween, their second single from the set, Love You for Life, was released. By January, the single was a top 40 and top 10 hit on the pop and R&B charts, respectively. On the 11th of that month, the group unknowingly released its final single together for nearly 2 decades, entitled Get On Up. A summer bop, it gave the group another top 40 pop hit and top 10 R&B hit. By September, their third set was platinum. That fall, Devontae Swing helped produce a track on rapper Tupac Shakur's set, All Eyes on Me. By the release of the show, The Afterparty, and The Hotel, the mob had dissolved, but a year later, Devontae formed a new collective, Super Friends, which was basically the mob plus Nicole Ray, Aaliyah, Genuine, and a few other artists. This time, releases such as Aaliyah's 1 in a Million, as well as Missy and Playa's debut, helped propel the collective. The Tupac Jodeci connection was furthered with KC and JoJo being featured on How Do You Want It, as well as Toss It Up on Shakur's Machiavelli project. This alliance of sorts with Death Row and Suge Knight is said to have rubbed executives at Uptown the wrong way, and possibly led to their second and third sets being snubbed promotion-wise. Jodeci, unlike nary a 90s singing group, did not break up messily. In fact, they did not break up at all. They just stopped putting out music. The members parted ways, and KC and JoJo became a duo. In their first album together, Love Always went triple platinum within 2 years of release and gave the two something they did not achieve as members of Jodeci, a #1 pop hit with the ballad All My Life.
Hey everyone, welcome back to The Planet, where we have the talented KC and JoJo. This is the album. It's called It's Real. It is in stores. Go out and get it. Support these young brothers, because, you know, a lot of people, in my opinion, we were just talking about this, I don't think really realize how talented you guys are.
Thank you very much.
You produce good music.
Thank you, Rachel. And we don't want to sound like Little Richard. No. What we're saying is, man, for a lot of years, we've been wanting our music to be universal, everybody to love, from Jodeci days, not just talking about KC and JoJo. And you know yourself, you can tell them what I'm trying to tell them better than I can. You know, we just want everybody to love our music, and for the past 10, 11 years, that ain't been happening.
Do you feel like, okay, like with Love Always, you know, it was so weird. With every track that came out, it seemed like there was a whole, you know, resurgence of people talking about it and really picking up on the album. You know, it's like it didn't hit immediately, but man, that album was around forever. Like with every song you released.
That's been going on for 10 years.
Well, why do you think people took so long to really catch it? You know,
maybe
to feel it. I don't know.
Maybe it's the way.
JoJo wants to talk really bad, Casey.
I really think they want to hear from me too. I'm just joking. No, okay. Well, what I think is, because what I'm glad of that happened with the album, Love Always album, it had a slow takeoff, and that's what I love, because you know you have a lot of people, a lot of artists, that comes out, and their album goes straight to the top, and then where else could you go from there? So, and the business aspect, I feel as though the slower that your album takes to build, as long as it's building, the better it could be. But what I think, and also I think with the Love Always album, it's like people had to get used to the fact that it wasn't for people. Devontae wasn't there, so that was another like slow down, you know, slow the process down a lot. So but it finally came through. With songs like All My Life and you know, which God bless. You know, thank you very much. Thank you very much. My daughter inspired me to write this.
Their second album brought similar success. They'd release 3 more albums as a duo. In 1999, JoJo Hailey collaborated with Shantae Moore for I See You in a Different Light. The following year, Dalvin released his own solo project entitled Metamorphic, as well as a single, Why Can't We, with Stevie J.
Now, isn't that kind of coincidental, Dalvin the Great and Dalvin the Great?
What you think?
I think that's hot, though.
I think it's hot.
That's great.
Yeah.
You're great, and, you know,
you.
Jodeci's great. And what's going on with Jodeci?
Well, you know, we just pen out the ideas for the reunion album and, you know, whatever. Get it together.
Right, so you guys are still cool, still kicking it, and we're definitely going to hear more from you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I want to talk about you, though. You have
Okay.
you've taken this time now to do your solo thing.
Right.
What's been going on with all that?
Well, you know, after, you know, Jodeci kind of went on hiatus, I just wanted to get all the people right in my corner, my management, my accountants, my lawyers. So it took me a minute to pan everything out, you know, and I moved from New York to LA to try to, you know, get ready, do the solo thing. So it finally came together, you know, and that's it. But in the meanwhile, you know, I've been working with Stevie J, and we, you know, co-produced 3 songs on Mariah Carey's new project. We worked with a couple groups from London, Eternal, The Honeys. You know, I did a couple songs on soundtracks. I mean, I've been busy, but kind of like bubbling under.
Right.
Just waiting to just set myself up for this solo album.
So you think that this move from New York to LA has kind of helped in the transition and the whole style of Dalvin the Great?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, because I got kind of stuck in my East Coast vibe, and everything was just, you know, hard, and, you know, everything was street, and I just wanted to get away and just get new energy and, you know, write about new things and talk about new things.
So what are you talking about on the album?
A lot of relationships, you know, disasters, pitfalls of relationships, the happiness, the joy, you know, the joys of relationships, whatever.
In 2015, 20 years after their final album, Devontae, Dalvin, Cedric, and Joel reunited for a 4th set, aptly entitled The Past, the Present, and the Future.
When you think of love, you think of Jodeci. Let us caress you, JoJo, Devontae, and Casey and Dalvin. We really want to please you. Come on and let us squeeze you to your ecstasy. Let your body feel the beat. When you think of Jodeci, you think of our capability.